I found this sad looking laptop literally by the side of the road. It's unbelievable what people throw away these days. If you ever consider throwing away a laptop, please think twice. Your data might literally be on the street, as you will see later in this video. At least remove your hard disk or SSD. You can easily put it in an external USB casing and use it as a backup device. It turns out to be a Lenovo Yoga 530, which apparently someone tried to destroy but didn't do a very professional job. I have no idea why they threw it in the street instead of disposing it in the garbage bin, but for us it's a great opportunity to practice our laptop repair skills for free, so let's see what it does. Nothing. Well, nothing apparently. Let's remove what is left of the screws in the back and have a look inside. The inside looks quite alright. There is a bit of a bend in the board, but it doesn't look damaged. There are a few channels on YouTube that explain how laptop motherboards work, but it still took me a while to understand the basic principles, so I'll show you my mental model of laptop motherboards. It might fit your way of thinking and help you diagnose your own motherboards. So basically a laptop is a collection of components, like the CPU, the memory, the power switch, the Wi-Fi card, your disk, an SSD or an HD, USB ports, and some fans, and probably some more. Each of these components needs his own specific voltage. So these two need 1.5 volts. These two need 3.3 volts. And these three need 5 volts. These three voltages are made by separate power supplies. Which are fed by what is called the main power rail, which is 19 volts usually. So if we have the 19 volts main power rail, these sub power supplies provide power to the different components below. Now, to get 19 volts on this main power rail, there are two MOSFETs connected to the input, the charger. So we can only have 19 volts on the main power rail if both these MOSFETs let the 19 volts through. So this is the first MOSFET, this is the second MOSFET. And a MOSFET is basically a switch, switched on or off electronically by putting a voltage on a special pin on a MOSFET called the gate. That signal to turn the MOSFETs on or off is created by the power management chip. So if one of these MOSFETs doesn't let the 19 volts through, it's either the power management chip that doesn't give a signal to do so, or one of them is broken. Now, if the first MOSFET measures 19 volts here, but not 19 volts there, we know that that might be the case. So let's measure. When we put our multimeter in beep mode to detect shorts, we find that this MOSFET connects to the power supply and is therefore the first MOSFET. The other side of the MOSFET connects to this slightly smaller MOSFET, so that will be the second MOSFET. Now let's measure some voltages by connecting the power supply. So we have 20 volts coming in from the power supply. The input of the first MOSFET gets 20 volts. But the output of the first MOSFET doesn't get 20 volts. I lost the footage of measuring the gate. There was 25 volts on the gate, so the first MOSFET is blown because it is switched on by the power management chip, but doesn't let any current through. I haven't got a spare MOSFET, but we can get a laptop running by removing the broken MOSFET and connecting its input and output by some solder. I'm afraid it's not worth restoring the laptop, since a new screen and a new casing will be too expensive. But the things I learned from this little machine is priceless, so thank you, little laptop. We will find a way to fix other laptops with your parts. I am going to apply for the Botch Job of the Year award in the category Laptop Repair, so wish me luck. The competition is fierce on YouTube. And after putting everything back together, the laptop starts its operating system. After removing the SSD from the laptop and putting it in an external SSD enclosure, I was able to see all the files of the previous owner. So I wiped the drive and reformatted it to be used as an external memory stick. But please be careful when throwing away or selling your computer. First remove all your data by either wiping the drive or by removing it altogether. Thank you so much for joining me in this little repair. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you will join me in the next video. Bye then!